So as you know, if you've been watching, we found water damage. And now we needed to find a place to work on it.
And somebody to guide us through the process, or maybe to do it for us.
And not cost an arm and a leg. Let's go down that road. Hello, faithful people. I'm Orleen.
I'm Gary, and we are on the road to recovery.
On the roads of faith.
On the roads of faith.
Yes.
And
So-
not for us, but for our home.
Our tiny home on wheels. Yes, if you missed the first video, I'll put the number down below on how we found the water damage. And now we were looking for a place to work on it
Yes.
because we knew that rain was going to be coming, and we needed to have a place to be able to work on it, and we needed to have hopefully some guidance from somebody.
Yes.
The other places that we called around for someone to come and fix it was about $95
Very expensive.
to $100 an hour. Yeah. So that would have probably cost a couple grand to fix it with the materials and everything too. So what happened was we started asking around for some referrals. And someone recommended William.
We were looking at getting some help from Amish workers. Dave's Metal Concepts was recommended. When I went out and talked to them, they said they didn't work on little projects like that. They worked on bigger things. But there was a gentleman named William who liked doing his own projects and often worked on smaller jobs. So went and spoke with William, who was more than willing to come and help us, and said his fee was much less than $95 an hour, let's say.
Yeah.
So, and he had not worked on a trailer before, but he was willing to give it a go. And
He had, 50 years in experience
Carpentry.
in carpentry, so, and we have a wood frame, so...
then all we needed to do was find a place to do it. And he had no place out there for us, so he recommended a couple in Montello who just happened to be
Classmates of yours.
Yeah, and know them fairly well. They go to the same church, and they just happened to be getting ready to leave on vacation the same day that I was talking to William. So I called them quickly on my phone and found out they'd be around till noon. I went and spoke to them about it, and they showed me where we could park underneath a shelter. It looked a little close, but it turns out it worked out very well.
Yeah.
We're very grateful to Bob and Bernice for giving us that location to work on.
Yep. My arm is getting tired. I'm sorry. I have got to get a selfie stick. Anyway, so what we had also looked at your sister's, brother-in-law's farm.
They have a pole shed.
Yep.
That would have been closed in, would have worked out okay, but it was 40 minutes at least from here.
One way.
One way, yeah. So
And we didn't know how long it was going to take to fix it, and so
Right.
then you're adding in gas when you have a truck that doesn't get very good gas mileage.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go with the one. Are you going to do it now? Your finger's going to... You're going to hold it? Oh, I'm free! Okay, so...
now you can talk for real.
Yeah, now I
That's
can
a real
really talk.
expression in it.
Yes. So anyway, we got it out there that night, and then William and Gary started on it the next morning, and so we're going to show you that and how that all went together and how it all worked out. And so we'll show you day one of the repair, but this is part 2 of the water damage.
And shows just how fortunate we were to have it under a shelter.
Yes, because rain was coming.
A lot of it.
So you'll just have to watch and find out how we handled that. Okay, here you go. Is it pretty level?
I don't know.
It'll give you lots of room to lay stuff down and that you're working on. Are you going to be able to unhitch it that way?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, looks good. I think it'll work.
Oh, very cool.
Got all that space to lay things down. Put tarps up if necessary on the sides. Okay. And it's less than half a mile from Gary's mom's, so this will work. We could probably have gone all the way under because our air conditioner, I don't know if you can see that, it's got, I mean, it's already under it and there's plenty of room. And so there's just this front part here. Whoa! Just the front part above the bedroom that would probably still fit, but we don't need it. So the back part is where the problem is. And so they'll be able to work on that and have plenty of room and hopefully no rain. So some new pieces were put in all the way across here. And some pieces were okay to use and some they added extra pieces next to it to reinforce it. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Okay, so I was just asking Gary about this part here, you know, that still isn't replaced. So what did you say?
I've got some solvent that is supposed to soak into this and prevent any more rot.
Okay.
There's a...
It's pretty solid otherwise.
Yeah, so this, you know, it does go in a bit, but it doesn't go in that far. No, this is all good, so it doesn't go up much further than here because the screws in here were pretty tight
Okay.
and good. So it's there, so we must have had some water coming in this general area here.
Right here.
Over here it's worse, but I wanted to see if I could chip out some of this and put a smaller piece in here yet, and then close that up. But this is good, of course. It's good up here the rest of the way. So it's just this bad section here that looks ugly.
Okay. And we're pretty much convinced that this was a leak that was old.
An older leak, yeah.
And it was repaired at some point, but
Well,
the damage wasn't taken care of.
I don't know how much fixing they did on it. They might have just put in screws at a different angle with some more putty. I don't think there was a lot of work put into it.
Ah.
At least not like this. So.
Okay. So this is new here. That's a new piece. This down here.
Yeah.
And this piece over here is new.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And then
Okay.
we'll put more insulation in it. We'll put some behind here, behind there. Maybe even tuck a little more in up around here, but this is all dry. This is all dry. And surprisingly, this wasn't even damp anymore. It was all dry.
Okay.
And then We'll get the goop out of the corners, clean it up, put some more goop in the corners, and then seal it back up again.
Okay.
And before you know it, we'll be going down the road.
We were very fortunate that this shelter was available to us for 2 weeks. The people that own it were going to be on vacation for 2 weeks, and they said go ahead and use it as long as you need and do whatever you need to do. So that was amazing how this all came together. Okay, so this part here, you were just saying you're going to try to chip that out and maybe replace that with a small piece.
Yeah, if I can slip a piece in here and screw it in. Probably won't go any higher than this. 'Cause up here it starts getting hard again.
Okay.
And just replace as much as I can down here without bending the aluminum.
Yeah.
Don't want to kink that. And I'll need to get some. Ouch.
Yes, it's very sharp.
Well, it's
You should be
it's
working
the
with
staples.
leather gloves.
Staples in there.
Oh, they have staples. Now, some RVs do not have the wood. Some RVs have metal,
And that has other issues.
and they have other issues, yes. This is one of our big concerns, is that this faces west, and it is supposed to rain tonight, late tonight. And there's like a 60% chance of thunderstorms. And this is all open. So we're going to try to put some plastic on here between, and then plastic on the RV as well to protect it overnight. This maybe just gives you a little perspective on how wide our walls are. This is from here to there. What is that? Maybe 2 inches?
Probably two.
Yeah. And this is the insulation on the sides, which is actually a good insulation, but it's not as warm as the batting, I don't think. Okay, so what are you spreading on there?
Don't know.
You don't know? Okay, well, let's just...
It's supposed to soak in and stop the rot.
Okay.
So you're supposed to get off as much of the rotten stuff as you can, and then apply it.
Liberally?
Sure. But you're not supposed to spill it on everything.
Okay.
That was just me.
Ah.
Being clumsy here.
And what is it called?
Take the paint off the bumper. Rotted wood restorer.
Okay. And you got that at Home Depot?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Apply generously and allow it to set dry. It's not like I know what I'm doing or anything here. It's just
Well, you got a whole can. Use it up.
exactly.
We were very fortunate that the neighbor to Bob and Bernice had a lot of tools and things that we were able to use too.
Yes. Very friendly fellow. Great people.
Yeah. Just one more example of how God provides.
Beyond anything we can ask or imagine.
Yes. And that is so true. Oh my gosh. There's been so many times on our trip well, in our life in general, but just in the last year, you know, all we were asking for was something really simple, and then God provided that plus a whole bunch more that went along with it. And it just blows me away. How long does it take for that to dry?
It's just penetrating the wood, getting into the parts that are rotted, and just burning them up or something. I don't know what it does.
Gary and I were just talking about, you know, how would you know that this was here? We saw no evidence inside. There was nothing we smelled. There was nothing that we noticed at all. It was just that Gary was feeling around on the bottom, just feeling around underneath the bumper there, just kind of doing a check. And that's how he discovered the crumbly stuff. Yeah. I mean, even an inspection. If they did an inspection, the only way they would have discovered this in an inspection would have been to take these strips off and see what was underneath them. And an RV dealer is not going to do that. And, I mean, who's going to do that? Just for tonight, Gary's putting the insulation back down to try to keep everything dry. We're going to put some plastic over it and hope that that's enough. So everything here is covered with plastic that needs to be. And we put up a big sheet of plastic here from the top to the bottom. It covers a pretty good space, and then covered plastic here, all along here, all the way to the top. I think we'll be good. I hope. This was our worst fear. We knew there was storms coming tonight. We were hoping it was just going to be rain, hoping there wouldn't be any wind with it. There's nothing we can do now but wait till tomorrow and see how everything fared.